You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
Tough way to open conference play. We recap things from Philly, plus we catch up with the big man on campus, Calvin Austin III, and look ahead to a night game at Tulsa. That's all coming up tonight on The Ryan Silverfield Show.
The game is on.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. When you've got car trouble, you want help from number one. So if you've got a battery problem, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent chicken, just the chicken sandwich. R.J. Young, technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
The first conference game of the year didn't quite go as planned. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Woloshin.
And I'm Jarvis Greer. Let's go to the highlights right now with Cassie Carlson.
The Memphis Tigers have the offensive duo of Seth Hennigan and Calvin Austin, but Temple has the #1 passing defense in the country. Memphis starts with a 3-0 lead in the second. On the Temple 6, the handoff goes to Drake Clark, getting some blocks as he makes his way into the end zone for a touchdown. 10-0 Tigers lead. Temple has the ball, and they go for it on 4th and 1, but Quindell Johnson puts up the tackle and forces a turnover on downs. Tigers take that as Seth Hennigan launches to Javon Ivory in the back of the end zone, a 35-yard score, and another game with a big Tigers lead to start. 17-7 later on, and Brandon Thomas with the ball tries to pick up the first down. Instead, he's stripped of the ball, so back-to-back games where the freshman has fumbled, and the Owls will use that as a big momentum shift. Quarterback Juan Mathis, the transfer from Georgia, makes the throw, and what a grab from Jose Barbone over Julian Barnett. 3-point game. Owls erase the Tigers' lead. It is tied in the third. Memphis on the 2. They fake the handoff, and a lob thrown to a wide-open Sean Dice in the back of the end zone gives Memphis the lead back. The PAT no good. Fourth quarter, 2nd and goal for Memphis. Kylan Watkins back from injury, playing in his first game of the season. He gets the handoff, and he fumbles the ball on the goal line. Temple recovers, and the Tigers miss out on another scoring chance with the second turnover of the game. Under 3 to play, Temple's Mathis gets it quick to Ahmad Anderson Jr., and he gets to the outside and breaks through for a 53-yard score. Temple takes an 11-point lead. With 30 seconds left in the game, it is still 34-23. The Tigers now in the red zone. Hennigan steps up in the pocket. He connects with Javon Ivory for their second touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion, but not enough time. Another Memphis lead erased as Temple goes on to win 34-31. Keeping cool under pressure this week, Tigers safety Quindell Johnson, the redshirt junior, putting up a career-high 15 tackles, including the big stop on 4th down. The defensive leader, though, not happy with the results.
This is a long game. Every game is long. So you can't just go out there thinking you get the big lead that is over with. Now you got to keep your foot on the throttle, and that's what, that we need to start doing more, keeping our foot on the throttle, keep going, keep playing every play.
For more on the game, let's go to Jarvo and Wolo with head coach Ryan Silverfield.
Deja vu all over again. Tigers had a big lead. Tigers made mistakes, Coach. You lose another heartbreaker by a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, very similar to feeling to last weekend, unfortunately. We're there. We just got to execute better. Obviously, turnovers will absolutely kill you. 2 of them, one on the 6-inch line, and then another reverse back and put our defense in a bad field position. And then defensively, we also have to make plays. So I thought the execution was poor in all 3 phases today.
On the positive side, just terrific fight to get back into this thing, and an onside kick away from maybe tying it up.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll never question our guys' heart and character, but you're exactly right. We put ourselves in a situation where we even had to do that, but I know our young men will continue to fight. They believe in this team. They believe in the way we're doing things. We're sitting 3-2, and it's not pretty, and we got a lot of work to continue to do.
Right now, you're behind the 8 ball on the giveaway takeaway, and that really has been the season for Memphis. When you've been ahead of the giveaway takeaway, you win the games. When you've been behind it, it hasn't happened for you.
Yeah, 1,000%. In fact, I told our staff this morning, and then I said, you go and look at even just the Iowa-Maryland game, right, where there's 5 turnovers, you give yourself no chance. And I talked to our players about it. We preach it, we harp on it. Clearly, we have to do a better job of practicing it and making sure it's there. When a team's trying to be a ball control offense like Temple tried to do today, breaking the huddle, snapping the ball with 5 to 9 seconds left, we don't give ourselves enough opportunities to go out there and turn the ball over. And then, we got to continue to execute at a higher level.
Speaking of execution, your quarterback had over 300 yards passing, 24-40, and he really is growing up in that position, but there's still more growing that you can get from him.
Yeah, no question. Look, we know that Seth Hennigan's a fantastic quarterback. He's an 18-year-old that plays at an elite level and understands and sees things. Are there some things we'd like to improve on? Absolutely, and he knows that. And certainly not a perfect game on his part. And there's some reads and some keys and some handoffs that probably should have occurred. But that's part of it, and he'll continue to grow up and mature and do well in this offense.
Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
The life of a college football player is very, very structured. What's it like during the week? Here's Coach.
Football has probably, of all the sports, more details and organization. So, Coach, what is it like? A week in the life of Ryan Silverfield?
Well, let's always start with post-game Saturday because I think that's easiest, Try to put the game behind you, try to watch a little bit that night, maybe on the iPad at the house, or if you're traveling back, studying the game, for me, watching offense, defense, and special teams. Quick turnaround, wake up Sunday morning, get to the office, and then watch all the film and take notes on everything, right? Little details we saw, even from how we were at the hotel, from meetings to anything that we need to get fixed and corrected moving forward. Then obviously a lot of notes about the game, right? And I think that's important. Then talk with each coordinator that Sunday, get together as a staff, watch the film, discuss everything, go through an injury report. Then Sunday afternoons, we actually have practice here. So we do a team meeting, then we go out and have practice. We go about 45 minutes with our vets that played in the game, and then we follow that up with what we call a young guy scrimmage. So anybody that didn't have the opportunity to play, it's a great way for us to be able to coach them, be around them, because sometimes during the week they're spent with scout teams. Then we go into it, and Monday is actually our Players' Day off, which is important because we allow them to focus and start their academic week by just focusing strictly on that school, right? At that point, the coaches are game planning. We spend all day Monday game planning, getting ready for a Tuesday practice. We practice in the mornings here at the University of Memphis, which is fantastic. That way, our guys are in and out of the building Tuesday, Wednesday morning. We're able to focus. Their afternoons focus on their classes. We're game planning all night, putting together those practice plans. Thursdays, we actually do a walkthrough here, right here in this beautiful indoor facility. And then Friday is what we call our Fast Friday. That's our time to get after it. But early mornings, late nights, loving it, trying to put together a game plan to put our Tigers in the best position to win on Saturdays.
Would you say your morning practices really help when you play those early morning games?
I would like to think so, and I think that's part of it. Regardless, we have to be dialed in and focused, and that's got to start from the minute we step out of the building, head on those buses to the plane.
You mentioned Friday is a real practice, your Fast Friday. It used to be that was always a walkthrough day. You've changed that. Is there a lot of difference between the way folks used to week plan to now?
No question about it. I think that's something that people are a lot smarter than me, with scientific research studying that when's the athlete's peak performance. And we looked at it, we studied it. One of the guys, Chip Kelly, actually started this at Oregon, and then we went to the 49ers, did a lot of research on this. We found out that, Thursday is a great time to dial it back down, really focus on the mental aspect, make sure we're on the same page with the game plan. Then what we've realized is Fridays, instead of doing a walkthrough, really within 24 hours of the actual competition, you want to rev it up a little bit. Now, we're not out here for 2 hours hitting and banging, but we call it Fast Friday. We get a little bit of special teams going full speed, and then we do 38-minute running clock, and it's offense and defense on their own, hitting it and getting it with shoulder pads on, but our players appreciate it. They feel like they've revved up. Now we're able to see all those things we saw on Thursday with all the different looks we saw at a faster pace on Friday.
When you talk about skills players on this Tigers team, Calvin Austin III is top of mind, and thank goodness he came back for another season. We're catching up with the top wide receiver after the break.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
Calvin Austin III went from walk-on and track star to cementing himself as one of the best receivers in Tigers history. We catch up with the Memphis kid living out his football dreams.
It's Calvin Austin at the 35.
Oh my goodness.
Breaks a tackle, 30, 20, and he's trotting into the end zone. Another Tiger touchdown.
We've talked about you being a Memphis kid. You were once a walk-on, you ran track, and now you're the top wide receiver. You're a top wide receiver in the country.
Is that hard to fathom for you right now?
Yeah, I would say it is, but at the same time, like, I always had that confidence about myself and just that feeling that I could compete with, you know, those top guys. And just like going back into high school, like, anytime I would go to like big camps or anything, like, I would always be able to compete against the top guys, but most of the time I would be overlooked because of like size, or I didn't have those big time offers going into camps as some other people. But yes, I always knew that I could compete and be one of the best.
Well, speaking of Memphis guys too, you are on pace to pass Anthony Miller's single season receiving record here at Memphis. That puts a smile on your face,
Yeah,
but what would that mean?
I was about to say, I didn't even know that, but you know, that would be pretty crazy, just being able to be from this city, and you know, he's from the city as well, and probably one of the greatest receivers to come through here. So you know, it would just be another an incredible moment, you know, and hopefully it'll inspire the younger guys after me to know that if you just like work as hard as you can, even if you weren't looked at first, you can end up, you know, breaking records and achieving whatever you want to do.
He's going to fake. Now he's throwing long down the middle, looking for Calvin. Got it at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Tay winning nothing Tigers. He beat Wisdom. Calvin Austin, too much speed. Another touchdown. That's his 7th this year. 60 yards.
You also said that you wanted to come back because you wanted to play with this group of guys, the returners, the fifth-year seniors, and some of the young guys like Brandon Thomas, who you knew had a ton of skill. Now that we have seen a big chunk of what they can bring and what you guys can bring, is it living up to your expectations?
Oh, big time, big time, big time. And honestly, it's that aspect and the aspect of just like playing in front of the fans again, that makes a big difference too. But you know, to be able to play with guys like Jacoby and Thomas and John Tate coming back too, you know, that it's really special. And like me and Jacoby like talk before the games, after the games, and especially leading up to this season, just about how special this season could be and like us taking advantage of the opportunity.
You and quarterback Seth Hennigan have hooked up for some big touchdown passes and catches. What has it been like working with him and seeing him take over that spot?
It's been a learning experience for the both of us, and you know, it's kind of like headed back in, like when we were used to throw like routes on air back in winter and spring, you know, we didn't get to go as much because he was one of the younger guys. I feel like we just continually like picked up on our chemistry, and you know, it's like coming off the field, we're always talking. He's telling me what he sees, or I'm telling him what I see. And you know, I think it's just like it's a good dynamic because I'm an older guy on the team and I play way more college games than he has, but you know, he's a young guy, but he's so smart that whatever I'm seeing, I know I can tell him and he'll be able to pick up on it.
We talked before the season started, and we kind of talked about why you decided to come back and some of the goals you had set for yourself. And one of the goals you said, you wanted to be an All-American special teams player. What do you think? Where do you think that stands now after that 94-yard punt return?
I think I'm headed the right direction for sure. I would say that was definitely one of the crazy punt return for sure. But you know, I'm also still just like watching back the other games and stuff like that. Still like trying to be hard on myself and critique myself, because I know on a couple of those punt returns I could have been more aggressive. So I just still working to reach that goal for sure.
They are kicking it.
Whoa, Scott.
This one is a beauty. High.
Let it go.
It will
catch
come
it.
down near the 3-yard line, and it was deflected there by State. Wow. What a good job. And it's picked up by the Tigers.
Oh, my goodness.
It is picked up by a Tiger and returned.
Calvin.
40. It's Calvin. 50. Down the right side.
Calvin.
40. 30.
Calvin.
20. 10. Touchdown. They didn't down it. He touched it. He ran. He scored. It's 27-17.
Let's go back to that one though. When you look at your phone after that game, how many messages did you have?
It was crazy. My phone had like blown up, and I had got the Twitter, the little Twitter notification that said like, do you want to set like filters? So I was like, okay, I know that this was like had blown up and stuff. So it was like everybody was like from Harding High School to like my middle school coaches were texting me. So it was pretty crazy.
Coolest person that texted you after that?
The Congressman Steve Cohen, he texted me about it because he was watching it, so that was pretty crazy. I was like,
and you're a political science guy, right?
Exactly. So yeah, that I was like, that was pretty cool to have him watching the game. He said he's a big Tigers fan.
When Calvin Austin was in high school, I couldn't wait for this kid to become a Tiger. His quickness, the way he returned kicks, it was magic. But we had to wait a long time, Coach.
Absolutely. Well, look, when he came to us, he was probably 142-pound walk-on, what we call a little track star. And, he's able to grow up and develop, and he's turned into a true wide receiver, and he's been fascinating.
When you have a guy like that that's come in, he walked on to the Tiger football team. He was a scholarship track athlete and an All-American on the 4x100, but coming in, and when you got a guy like that, how do you nurture him and get him molded and ready to go? Do you say, oh, this guy's fast, we can make him a receiver, make him a football player?
Well, credit to him. He's one of those that's bought into the way we do things, right? He's put on good, healthy weight. He's gotten bigger and stronger and faster by being in the weight room and buying into the way we do things. He's delved into the playbook, and now what he's allowed himself to do is be able to play all over the field. That and being a dynamic punt returner, all those things have allowed us to be able to put him on the field. Now, he wasn't ready early in his career, but he's earned the right to be Calvin Austin that we all know him now and love. And so the thing is, it's his great work ethic that's made him so special.
The thing that is amazing to me is he runs great routes, but you can learn that. Most of the times, I think it's like you got speed or you don't. You've got good hands or you don't. The improvement in his hands is what amazes me most. How did he do that?
Well, there's two things that I challenged him with this offseason. First was be able to catch better balls over the top, because he rightfully so admitted that wasn't his best deal. He could get by guys, and some of those deep passes weren't in his hands. Now we're seeing him catch everything, right? He's got great hands, really proud of his improvements. Sometimes at night I'll hear a loud thumping sound out here. I'm like, who the heck's still in the indoor? He's catching balls on the jug machine, even on off days, because it's that important to him to continue to improve that. The other thing I challenged him with is being a better run blocker. And man, he has really improved that aspect. Really proud of him with those efforts.
Can he outrun the jug?
Yeah.
Calvin can keep racking up those yards as the Tigers head to Tulsa. We preview the matchup coming up next.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone. Let's take a look at the AutoZone road ahead.
Tulsa is up next. They were part of the revolution of changing defensively. They've been really good in that department.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got players all over, and being in part of that 3-3-5 scheme has given teams issues. And look, there's a reason why they competed for the conference championship last year. They got a heck of a ball club, and they're well coached.
Yeah, well coached indeed. And of course, you don't have to look back too far, but just a couple of years ago, Memphis, the whole season hinged on that one kick that missed for Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, you think about that. That was the last time we played at Tulsa, a night game as well. You go there, and they gave us everything we wanted. It came down to a last-second field goal. They had a freshman kicker at the time. Fortunately for us, it probably changed the dynamic for Memphis football, our program, for a lot of people's futures with that missed kick, and we're so fortunate with where it's led us to today.
Last time, it gave us game day. What do you hope it gives us this time?
Look, it's another conference game. It's so important. It doesn't matter where you're playing, home or away, trying to get that other conference win.
That was tonight's AutoZone Road Ahead. AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination and official sponsor of Tiger Athletics. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Seasons have been made, or they've come undone in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll wrap this one in just a minute.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
That's our show for this evening. Next week, who's our why? What does that mean? Cassie Carlson will explain. We'll see you then. Have a great night, everybody.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. Next time you need a car battery, just pick it up. Visit AutoZone.com and select same-day store pickup. Just one reason why AutoZone is America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. And by Conway Services, official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. R.J. Young. Technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery. Turning dollars into dreams. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the University of Memphis Sports Network. This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.